Welcome back to some more King's Quest 2 Romancing the Stones. It's time to head into the town of Kolyma. Let's go. There's this creepy guy at the fountain.
You see a man bending over the fountain. He appears to be trying to retrieve something from it.
Wonder what he's up to.
Aha! Got him.
Wonder what that was all about. I'll find out momentarily, but first, let me investigate this statue here.
A tall statue of a man stands prominently at the entrance of town. It looks to have been placed here quite a number of years ago. The statue bears a plaque which reads, Count Kaldor, ruler and protector of Kolyma.
So it looks to be a statue of the leader of this beautiful island here of Kolyma. Let me go talk to this guy and see what he was doing over at the fountain. It was kind of shady.
Greetings, merchant.
Ah, to you, good day. Shh. A visitor arrived new, no? A sense I possess for these things. Need you have for my wares of great specialty?
Perhaps, but first, I'm curious. Where did you come by such a pumpkin?
Eyes quite keen, have you? Indeed, a specimen unique it is.
Be quiet.
The gift of speech among plants so rare, yes?
Quite so. Are you planning to sell it?
Sell? Never would I sell such a thing as this.
It'll make me incredibly rich.
I mean, entrusted it was to my care. Watch over it, I must.
Mama! Take me back to my mama!
Forget it. I'm not taking you back to that patch. So pipe down.
Pardon?
Ah, of importance I speak not. Trouble to your ears I meant none.
So it looks like this is the guy who stole the poor little baby pumpkin right from under its mother in the pumpkin patch. What a fool. So let me try to see if I can barter with him.
Talking to yourself.
No, not myself.
You consider confronting the merchant about the theft of the pumpkin. But as a stranger in town, you don't want to cause a scene. Perhaps a more subtle approach is in order.
So I'm gonna have to come up with a plan here to get the little baby pumpkin back. But first, let me head into the library because reading is more important than saving the life of a kidnapped pumpkin. Come in here. And let me go talk to the librarian. Maybe I can learn a few things about the town here.
May I help you?
Yes, I was hoping to enrich my knowledge of this fair land by way of perusing your historical texts.
Wow.
My, that was well put.
Indeed.
No.
Not terribly effective, though.
Pardon me, perhaps I was not clear?
You were.
Then may I?
No.
So it looks like we got our classic mean librarian here. Let's keep talking.
Why can't I?
You are not a member.
Well then, can I become a member?
No.
Why can I not become a member?
We already have far too many members. It's difficult to keep track of everything.
How many members are there?
2.
Really? 2 people? This lady's crazy.
If I may inquire, who are your 2 members?
You may not. Neither the Count of Kolyma nor the elderly gentleman who lives next door would approve of my divulging that information to you.
Ah, thank you anyway.
So she may be mean, but she's also a little bit stupid. Guess all that reading hasn't helped her intellect much at all.
You mentioned the Count of Kolyma is a member of this library.
Yes.
Have you seen him recently?
The librarian looks at you strangely.
No.
Is there any way I might meet the Count?
Yes.
How?
Die.
I would have to die to meet the Count?
Depends.
On what?
Your importance.
And if I am important?
Then you might be fortunate enough to be buried on his estate.
Who is buried on the Count's estate?
Counts.
Aha, past Counts, of course. Anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
Him.
Pardon? Do you mean the Count is dead?
The librarian decides to avoid your gaze and seems disinclined to speak further with you on the subject.
So it looks like there's a plot twist here. The Count appears to be dead, the ruler of this island. Wonder if anybody's ruling on his stead or what's going on with this whole thing. Definitely gonna uncover those mysteries. She did also mention that the elderly man who lives next door is the second member of the library, so let's check out this note on his door and see if there's anything of interest there.
The door is plain and has a mail slot. It also has a sign posted on it. You read it.
The family of the deceased wishes to thank all who have expressed their condolences over the passing of their loved one. Frederick enjoyed life and literature and had an ever-present, if sometimes wicked, sense of humor. May his soul be at peace in the realm of the dead, and may its Lord judge him worthy of eternal happiness.
You also notice something sticking out from under the door.
So it looks like the resident is dead, so we're going to do the socially acceptable thing here, and we're going to steal his mail. I'm going to slide my sword under the door and try to get whatever's poking out there.
Brandishing your sword, making sure that no one is watching, you slide your thin blade under the door and draw out what appears to be a letter.
Excellent. Now let me open up the letter.
You open the letter and read it. Dear applicant, please find enclosed the library membership card to which you are now entitled. The 5-year application process has concluded, and we are pleased to inform you that your status as a member of the town library is confirmed. Welcome to an exclusive group of patrons. Yours sincerely, Town Librarian. P.S. Please sign your name on the card to ensure validation.
I like how official the librarian is about everything, but if you look at the library card, it's just these giant block letters with a big X for me to sign. It's kind of silly. Anyways, looks like I am now a member of the library. Last thing to do is actually sign it to validate it. So I'm going to come over here to this pen, and as soon as she looks away, I'm going to use it. You actually have to wait until she's looking in the other direction or she'll not be happy. There we go.
You quickly grab the quill while the librarian isn't looking and sign your name on the blank library card. You replace the quill before the librarian notices it missing.
Okay.
Will you accept this?
Yes, you are younger than I expected.
I eat well and get a lot of exercise.
I see.
So, what do I do now?
Borrow.
You mean I can take books from this library?
No.
Oh.
So let me ask her for a recommendation on a book here.
Yes?
Could you recommend a good book?
I like how she hobbles along. She has a very funny walk. Typical mean librarian walk.
There.
Okay, so let me use the book here.
This book is entitled Kolyma, Perfect One Day, Better the Next. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
If you're considering traveling to the wondrous land of Kolyma, then you should be congratulated on your timing, for indeed it has changed much since its creation many years ago. The very occasional earthquake has altered the land to the east somewhat, creating deep chasms near the mountainside. The changing ocean levels in this region have caused an alteration in the shape of the coastline, and of course, the people themselves have relocated from where they once lived. Most now reside in the town, which is nestled in the safety of the mountains. A wise decision, for more than a few have claimed to hear the sounds of howling at night, a sign that many wild animals have moved into the weirwood forest in recent times. As a result, few venture past the town gates, especially after dark. This isolation and the relative scarcity of people throughout most of the realm has made Kolyma a haven for the tourist who wishes to soak up the natural atmosphere of the land. It has also made a significant convenience for those who have settled in Kolyma, far from the town, and wish to maintain their privacy to pursue their own ambitions in peace. The realm of Kolyma is a wondrous land of beauty, and, for the adventurers among you, danger. See also Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. Okay, so I got a little bit of history of Kolyma, but for now let me get out of here and let me try to rescue that poor little baby pumpkin. I think I have a plan in order. The merchant seemed very greedy, so maybe I can trick him with the fool's gold that I got earlier. Let me throw it in the fountain.
The fool's gold again shines the instant the coins leave your hand.
Alright, let me go tell him that there's some money in the fountain.
3 coins in the fountain.
What? Let me see.
He's so greedy. What a little scumbag, dude. Take the baby pumpkin while he's distracted, and let me get out of town before he even notices anything is wrong. Excellent. Time to take this little baby pumpkin back to where it belongs. And take it back to its mother. And again, Graham's going to take this very windy path. All the way zigzagging. Graham, what is wrong with you? Have you never heard of Pythagoras? Everybody knows that the hypotenuse is much shorter than taking all the way around. Either way, let's head back up here to the patch. I think this little pumpkin is going to be quite happy. Look how sad that little pumpkin looks. Look at that frown. That's the saddest pumpkin I've ever seen. Not that I've ever seen a sad pumpkin.
My baby!
Aw, how cute.
Thank you,
Graham.
Thank you, Graham. Here, take this. Maybe this useless trinket of Haggathis will be of some use to you. Serves you right for not enabling me to protect my kids.
The pumpkin hands you a gold brooch with a beautiful blue sapphire.
Nice. Beautiful, happy music here. Now, if you guys know, let me know in the comments, what accent does this pumpkin have? I can't really pinpoint it. I'm thinking like a northeastern Jewish type accent. I don't know, though.
Is there anything more I can do for you?
Me thirsty, Mama. Now that you mention it, my baby is feeling a bit poorly. After all, living in a bowl ain't too good for your health, you know.
No, I did not know that. What would make your baby feel better?
Fresh water, naturally.
Of course.
Not too sweet, though. In fact, the more bitter, the better. My children are very particular about what they drink.
I will see what I can do.
Okay.
So, you want bitter water?
That's right. So don't you go putting sugar in it.
So maybe that's a bit of a hint about how to make bitter water.
So, you want bitter water?
That's right. So don't you go putting sugar in it.
Kind of like lemonade. So we do have lemon. I can go get some fresh water. And then we will put a lemon in it. And I think that'll bitter it up. So let's go. The reason I talked to her twice, by the way, is because sometimes she has a different dialogue. But she didn't want to give that up. That's okay, though. I know exactly where I can find a little stream here for some water. It's just perfect. Let me grab my bowl.
You fill the bowl with the fresh spring water.
And let's go ahead and squeeze some lemons into it.
After using your sword to cut the lemon surface, you squeeze some of its juice into the bowl. Then you discard the lemon.
Okay. So I'm going to head all the way back to the pumpkin patch. And man, I'm glad this little pumpkin likes natural lemonade, just water and lemons. Nowadays, lemonade is like the sweetest, most sugary drink you can ever get, man. I think lemonade has more sugar than Coke or Pepsi or all that kind of junk. It's just like pure sugar, man. Let's go give that little pumpkin a little bit of lemon water. And I already had it in my inventory. I don't know what I'm doing.
You pour the bitter water over the baby pumpkin. It seems to like that.
Nice.
Thank you again, Graham. Here, take this.
The pumpkin reaches into her head and pulls out a candle, which she then hands to you.
That thing has been jammed in my head for as long as I can remember. I know it ain't much, but maybe you'll find some use for it.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Besides, it's really hard for me to sleep with that thing lit up inside my head all night.
I would most certainly imagine that if you have a big flickering flame inside your head, it might be a little bit hard to get some sleep. So I don't blame the pumpkin here.
A word of warning. Agatha has been talking about you. I heard her mention your name while she was muttering to herself. She does that when she's inspected her valuables. Anyway, I'd stay clear out of her way if I were you.
I appreciate the advice. Will Hagatha not be angered when she discovers you've given your candle away?
What's he gonna do? Turn me into a pumpkin?
Good point.
Besides, I could just blame the dwarf. He's earned himself a bad reputation from the day he moved here. Pity no one can catch him, not even Hagatha.
If I may ask...
Appreciate all you've done, Graham, but I want to spend some quality time with my children. Now be a good boy and run some other errand.
Alright, Miss Pumpkin, you got quite patronizing there, so I'll take my leave. I can take a hint. So now let me go explore the land of Kolyma here, see if I can find anything interesting. Need to go a bit south. And you gotta be careful when you're clicking on these screens, because if you click on the chasm, you can actually fall down and die a miserable, terrible death. Here on the bridge as well, you have to be careful where you click, or Graham can actually fall off the bridge here. It's quite crazy. Alright, let me try to go to this rock cliff here. And oh my god, it's magic.
Incredible. The door you have discovered has taken on the appearance of a face. It is silent, however, and almost seems to be waiting for something.
Okay, let's try to talk to the door.
Greetings. I am King Graham of Daventry. Would you, by any chance, know of the way to a strange island on which stands a quartz tower in which a beautiful woman is being held captive?
You feel more than a little foolish. Surely a door, even one with a face, would neither hear nor understand you.
I am the door of destiny. I am sought out by many, found by few, and opened by none so far. For indeed, only once can I be opened. Such is the magic that I am. Through me will you find the destiny you seek, if you can but perform a task.
Anything!
You feel intense exuberance that you have come so close to your goal in such a short time.
You must bring me the gems of nature.
I beg your pardon?
The stone door rumbles from deep within. For a time, it says nothing. And then...
Gems of 3 I ask of thee to fetch, collect, and bring to me. In water shall you find the first, though not the type to quench your thirst. Spy the second high in the sky, with wings or no, thou still must fly. Through swampy mire, so it is heard, in lone dark castle lies the third. Should you succeed, my noble king, to your fair maiden I will bring. I warn you though, you should beware, a danger cloaked awaits you there.
Without warning, the stony face falls silent. As you watch, it gradually smooths out to become the mountainside face once more. You notice that, within the door, 3 shallow indentations have sunk into the rock's surface. Presumably, the 3 gems of nature must fit here. Now all you have to do is find them. How did that poem go again?
Okay, so it appears that there are going to be 3 gems. One is going to be in the ocean, one somewhere in the sky, and the third one apparently in a dark castle past a swamp. Let me take this little note here.
The paper is torn and dirty. It looks like a flyer of some sort. You smooth out the torn and tattered paper and read, "Curios I have, to the town do come, awaiting I am."
So it sounds like the merchant I was dealing with. That's kind of how he talked. Now the stone door also warned me that there may be a trap once he transports me to where the fair maiden is. So I do need to watch out for that. Now the plan is to head back into town and go to the library, and then maybe I can find a book there or anything that can kind of help guide my way as to where I may find these gems in the ocean, the sky, and some dark castle. Any information I can get would be good right now. So let me head all the way back to town. And let me go talk to the librarian. Maybe she can recommend a book that might help out in this quest. And I like her piercing laser eyes of doom. Look at those. They're glowing green.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
Alright, Miss Librarian.
There.
Let's take a look at this one, see if it gives me any hints.
This book is entitled Way Below Your League, a look at sentient aquatic life. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
Wish to explore the sea? Good luck. Even the most accomplished swimmers cannot swim very far before they tire and are pulled underwater by the currents. Even with a ship, it is difficult to properly explore beneath the surface without some means of breathing underwater. Truly, only the merpeople have ever been known to offer aid in this regard, though the relationship between land dwellers and their marine counterparts has been somewhat strained over the years. It is said that the merpeople, in particular their leader, King Neptune, can appraise an individual quite accurately. In fact, they seem to possess a natural ability to sense whether a person intends hostility towards them or not. Fortunately for the would-be adventurer to their underwater kingdom, they are a peaceful people, not prone to unwarranted acts of violence. The merpeople's nature is in sharp contrast to that of their neighbors, the Sharkies, who live in seclusion in the deeper, darker waters of the ocean. Little is known about them, except that they are fearsome to behold and do not take kindly to visitors. They are rumored to be excessively xenophobic, and hence have avoided contact with most of the outside world. It can be assumed that trespassers into their territory will be dealt with swiftly and harshly. Interesting, so it looks like these merpeople might be my way to explore the ocean and maybe find that first gem. And over here, you can literally examine each and every shelf, and it'll have like a nice little thing that you can read. For example,
You would not know where to start. Perhaps the librarian could be of help here.
or some shelf that,
You would not...
actually, I guess you have to look at it. There we go.
You glance at the titles on this shelf, revealing the truth about seeing unicorns and something about oneself in the process.
So I'm not going to go through and read every shelf. You can kind of discover that for yourself if you're playing the game. Again, it is a free game, and I recommend you play it before watching this playthrough. Anyways, let me talk to the merchant here, see what he's doing about his lost pumpkin.
Greetings again, merchant.
Yes, many greetings. Need you have now for my wares of great specialty?
What wares do you sell, good merchant?
For yourself, behold them.
You look over the merchant's wares of great specialty and quickly reevaluate them as junk.
You seem to have quite a selection of... well, quite a selection.
A keen eye have you. In an item or two provoke interest, I might?
A daunting task. Rather, by all means.
This I have.
You appraise the object he holds up to you. It is a simple shell, intricately fashioned into the shape of a cone. The workmanship is unlike anything you have ever seen.
Fascinating. Where did you find such a thing?
Oh, old it is. From ancient times descends. Valuable, without question. Royal property, former, to be sure.
You consider his story. Then you begin wondering which beach he found it on.
If I were to, say, purchase the shell, what would it cost?
A trifle would you expend? 7 golds.
I fear that I did not bring any money.
Curiosity, I find, in one who travels but with nothing to barter brings.
Good point.
Golds. I like how he said 7 golds. It's kind of funny.
Might you trade the shell comb for something?
The merchant ponders over this for a moment.
Of value, many things are. Of fancy, only one I have.
And that is?
Pearls.
Alright, and it just so happens that I have a pearl, so let me try to barter that.
Would you be interested in this pearl?
Indeed, I would. In return, the shell I present to you. May you be always groomed well.
The merchant grabs the pearl and tosses the shell comb to you. Then he saunters off. History will decide how greatly you were just swindled.
Oh, what a beauty. This'll be worth a fortune back home.
Scumbag merchant. Runs off into the distance. That's okay. So now that I have a little bit of information about the mer people, I think my plan is going to be to try and make contact with one of them. It seems to be the only way I can get to explore the ocean. So I think the best place to start for that is obviously going to be the beach. So I'm going to head over there. Although I have to be careful with those sharkies. They don't sound like the good lot. I mean, sharkies, I can only assume they're going to be sharks. Sharks aren't good, man. Sharks bite people. That's not good. Not for anybody. Especially in Florida. You always hear about people getting eaten alive by sharks in Florida. I don't like sharks. But I'm going to head over to the shoreline, maybe try to find some mer people. I like this big tree here. Okay. Over here at the beach. Nothing here. Let me actually come around this big rock and continue kind of south a little bit. And then maybe I can find something. Just gonna go up and down the coastline. And look at that. Just so happens there is a beautiful topless mermaid here. Is she a mer people? Maybe. We will find out in the next episode. I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. Hope you're enjoying the series. Stick with this game. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.